Hi everybody, my name is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. So I decided to make this video in English because I don't even know how to say like the exact word in Spanish, and I'm sure this exists in the English in the Spanish market, of course, because it's a position that happens in retail environment, so I'm sure it exists. um, but anyways, I'll do more research and see if I can do the version in Spanish. But I was like, I want to make a video today, but I'm not sure like what to talk about. So why don't I just talk about the stuff that I have experience with. And when it comes to fashion. So as you guys know, I'm a fashion designer. As you can see behind me, it's one of the posters, one of my fashion creations that I did at a fashion show. I don't want to show the model's face because she didn't approve of this is not related to her, but at least you can see the dress that I make. Everything's about giving God the glory and everything. But let me just get into the topic. So my topic for today is what a visual merchandising is to a store, right? I've been in retail, for many years. I went to school for fashion design. So a lot of the times people that go to school for fashion design, it's hard for them to find a job in the fashion industry when it comes to like creating clothing and being the fashion designers and having fashion shows. So a lot of the people that graduate from fashion school, they end up doing things in retail as far as merchandising, visual merchandising, which is something that I focus on for many years. I mean, you can say I probably did it for 10 years, because I spent 7 years at a store doing almost 8 years doing visual merchandiser. I was the visual merchandiser for that store for about 8 years, and then I worked in two other big luxury retailers as a visual merchandising for 2 years. So it's about 10 years, 11 years that I've done this, so I have a lot of experience doing visual merchandising. And let me tell you guys, it's a beautiful career. Like I said, it's something that a lot of fashion people that went to school for fashion, end up working with. And if you're a visual merchandiser right now, you can relate to my video, and if you have a comment, I want to say go ahead and leave it. And any experience you might have, let me just tell you something. A visual merchandiser, I'm not even going to search the description on Google. It's the person who works in a retail store and makes everything look nice and neat, especially focusing on the mannequins, focusing on the window displays, the in-store displays, and the signage. So it's like a whole complex position that has a lot of detail when it comes to merchandising the store, making the store look appealing and neat for the customers so they can come in and shop and see something fresh in the window, and like just be willing to spend money at that store. But it's a lot of stuff, and a lot of the times, like when I discover the position of visual merchandising, I didn't even know that it was something that like it had a name. I didn't even know it had a name, but you always see that person changing the mannequins, and you see them folding, and you're like, oh, they're just taking care of the store. No, they're actually called visual merchandisers. And I didn't even know about it. Like I said, until I graduated college. Oh well, during college, because I did take a class of merchandising and visual display, because I went to school for fashion. So that was one of my classes that I took, and I remember going to a boutique in New York, and they let us change the window and with our own creation and stuff. And I thought it was so cool. I'm like, I want to do this. Never in my life I thought I would be working on it and earning money from it, but I've done it for like about 10 years, as I said before. But anyways, it's a very cute, very rewarding position, because not only you like the person in the store who like gets called for everything when it comes to like styling advice and like, what do you think, what should we do with this new collection that came in, where should we put it, like your advice is so important to the store. It makes you feel like very important to the whole team. um, it's really good, and you work directly with your store managers and the supervisors, and you're always making big decisions. When I work at a store, I'm not going to say names, or these are big retail chains that are still open right now. um, I was sent out to do like remodels, grand openings, um, just like a launching of a new brand. Like I did a lot of stuff like that. But let me just tell you, all of that is great. knowing what's coming in the store, that's also great. Making the mannequins look nice, and I mean, if that's something that you enjoy doing, it's, you know, you're gonna love it. Like, I love it. I love my schedule too. Like, I will come in before the store open. I will have like about 3 hours before the store open to do a lot of my work, and then the rest of the day I will focus on doing, like, you know, lightweight stuff, because people were shopping. So you don't want to be in the way, you know. Let's say somebody wants to shop in the Mrs. department, then you are like moving stuff around. Like, you want to get in the store early and be able to do that. So it's very cute. Like, you get to see, like, the corporate offices will send you the package and they say, this is how we want the window to be. Other stores will say, you know, this is the idea. You can go ahead and think of something that you can create and make it look kind of similar. And you will go out to stores and shop for props, and, you know, you will paint the window like I done before. I will go out and paint, buy paint, and like go to a storage unit and find different things that will work for that window that day. So, you know, it's very creative. Like, if you want to be creative, it can be very creative, because there you make a lot of decisions. You know, it depends of how much they let you, you know, decide too. So a lot of the stores, they want a lot of change of stores. They want every store to look the same. But then you have other companies who are more lenient towards you, and they're like, you know, we believe in your creative ability, so make this section of the store look like how you want it to look, according to what we want, like what the merchandise that is coming to the store, what's coming. Let's say, you know, they're always working months ahead, so this is what's coming in September, and you start thinking about it, how you're gonna display, and then you can see what's coming ahead of time, and then you can tell your peers, you know, your co-workers, like, we're gonna get this designer coming up next month, so you guys, and you know, you go out and tell people about it, and you tell them about the designer, do a little presentation. So it's really cool, like I said. But like in anything, guys, it has its bad parts. I have a lot of stories, things that happened to me. It's almost like people don't realize it, I guess, that they do that. But the life of a visual merchandising can be, you know, of course it depends where you work, but a lot of the times it's like, it's very physical work. So you are up in a ladder, changing posters, changing mannequins, putting up props up in the window, you know, painting the window, and there you are by yourself with this huge ladder, you know, bringing the ladder, bringing it back, this and that. And then, you know, you get people from corporate that come and visit your store, and then they don't like it, or like they want to spend, you know, half 45 minutes staring at the window display to tell you every little thing that you miss. And they're looking at it, and you're like, what are you talking about? I don't see anything. And they're like, do you see that thing over there? That sleeve is hanging longer than the other sleeve, so that's wrong. And you're like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't see a customer will look at that, but that's how it is. It's really hard, because, you know, these people that visit the store from corporate, it's so crazy, because they want to sell the t-shirt that is made in $2, and it sells for $18, and they want to spend 45 minutes telling you you didn't steam it right. And it's so weird, because it's like, are you kidding me? Like, I guess in the beginning you can be happy to do the job and whatever, but towards the end you're like, you know what, forget this. Like, you know, it's like, what are we doing here? And then, you know, it's very physical work. And like I said, I remember starting a position as a visual merchandiser, and it was like near Christmas time, and I had this supervisor who didn't believe in coming in early to the store, which is kind of weird. You know, you're working in retail, you know, it's December, you know, it's busy, the store is busy at 9 a.m., you know, even if you open at 7, by 9 a.m. is peak hours. From 9 to like 2 o'clock is peak hours during Christmas time. So you're gonna get busy, so you want to get your visual team to get in the store as early as they can, 6 a.m., right, to get that work done before the stores open. But some people don't think like that, and there you are, you know, you have this foot traffic that is just overwhelming, all these people shopping, and I had this supervisor who wanted to do these big projects when the store was so busy, and I couldn't understand it. Like, it was like maybe 3 of us that were visuals, and she was the supervisor, and we were like up in ladders, like huge ladders, putting up decorations, Christmas decorations. in the store, and all these people shopping, and they were like kicking our ladders with their shopping carts and with like strollers. So it was just so scary. I never experienced something like that. And at one point I said, can we get early, a little early here? And she was like, oh no, I don't like coming in too early. So I couldn't understand that. Somebody who done visual for so long couldn't understand why would you want to like roll out big projects that could have been done before the store opened. Like I couldn't understand that in my head. Like, why are you doing this? We're being an inconvenience to the customer when you're rolling out big projects. Like, I understand. Let's say, you have a big overhead sign that says 75% off, and corporate says, change it. So, you know, it's a last minute change. You go ahead and change it. Get your ladder. Get people to maybe guard your ladder while you're up in the ceiling changing something. I can understand last minute changing, which happens a lot, by the way. But like big projects that could have been started like at 7 a.m., not at 2 p.m. when people are like shopping like the week before Christmas. So I couldn't understand that. I come from a store that my starting time was 6 a.m. It was great to do all this work because, at the end of the day, you don't want to be in the customer's way. That's the biggest thing. You want to do your job. You want to make the store look nice and neat for customers, but you don't want to be in their way. Because just like as you, when you go shopping, everybody's going shopping. And you go to a supermarket and you have the people with their U-boats and the big rolling cart with the merchandise, and you're trying to get something and you feel like you're inconveniencing them, yet you're the one who's shopping. So you shouldn't feel like you're in somebody's way. So that's why I always like to go early and do my job. But like I say, it's a very physical, demanding job. So you have to think about that too. It's not like a job that you're gonna go and check your email and in the morning and be able to see what's happening and stuff. It's like you're on the go. The minute you clock in, you're on the go. You're go. This has to be done. You gotta clean. You gotta do that. You're like, I work at a store where they had domestics, so I remember changing beds too, steaming beds, putting out towels as display. It's like, department store. So it was a lot of that. And then you have, like I said, it's something to think about too. It's very demanding job, right? These are the cons of it. Very demanding, very physical. Like, it's always hard to get people to work, to help you. Like, let's say you're the only visual at a store. It's always hard to get help, especially in this time when they're cutting hours. So they don't really give you helpers, and if they do, they give you people who never done your job. So you have to spend sometimes explaining to them what to do. And a lot of times, I remember one time I was doing Christmas decoration and they had this team to help me. I was so excited. I'm like, I got people. I'm so excited. It's gonna be done 1, 2, 3. Like all this, the whole store is gonna be decorated in no time. And I remember telling one of the helpers, okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna hang these garlands up in the ceiling, and she's like, oh, I don't get up in ladders. I was like, what? She's like, oh no, I will never go up in a ladder, I'm afraid. So I'm like, okay. I was thinking to myself, what kind of help is this? Like, you see me here daily. You see that the minute I clock in, I go back and get my ladder and I walk around the store, changing signs, changing stuff. Like, you're gonna help the visual person. You're gonna say you don't want to get up in the ladder, then don't take the hours. Like, say that you don't want to do it. Say that I can get somebody else because I don't feel comfortable getting up in the ladder. But anyways, then you have to be like, what you gonna, like, I don't complain. So I was like, oh, okay, no problem. So I guess somebody else will do it. So I remember having her hold the ladder for somebody else, or passing her the garland, and the other person will go up in the ladder. It's just, you always encounter people like that. Everybody admires what you do, but nobody wants your job. It's so crazy. Like, everybody will say, I love how you did this. They're like, I love how you changed the beds. I love how you changed the mannequins. And they're like, I don't know how you do it. And then, let's say, I remember one time I went on vacation for a whole week, and retail, it's not like your job is gonna be like waiting for you. Like, it changes every time. The visual position job changes, I mean like the workload for you will change every day. So I was out for a week and I had my friend who was a cashier cover me that week as visual. So he was taking my visual hours that whole week, 40 hours that whole week. And when I came back, he said, I have to give it to you. I have no idea how you work. He said, every day I went home in pain. My body was in pain. My arms were in pain. And I said, what is it that you did? He's like, he never changed mannequins. He didn't change beds. He was just changing up signs and stuff like that. Like simple like marketing things. And he's like, I don't know how you do this, and getting up in the ladder all the time. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people will say, I love your job, but they will never want to do it. So, if you're a visual merchandiser, feel proud that you are doing that job and that you're good at it. And if you have a long time doing it, kudos to you. Great job. I know what it is. I know it's hard. I mean, there were times it was like half an hour before I had to leave, and I remember getting a call from my store manager, and they're like, corporate just sent a notice. They say you have to change every single sign you put up in the ceiling because corporate doesn't want it. And I was just like, nobody cares about me. Like, I'm about to leave. I've been here since 6 a.m. But the person that I am, I'm like, you know what? She said, do you need help? And I said, yeah, can you give me somebody? So sometimes, because I was like, I live in half an hour. And all these signs, it's about 14 signs that I have to go up in the ladder and change. I said, yeah, I can get some help. But then, you get so used to doing your job, and by the time you explain to somebody how to do it, somebody who doesn't want to really help you, they're just doing it because they're being told, you're like, you know what, I'm good. Like, you just go ahead, bam, 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 and just take care of it, And I remember, that guy that they asked to help me that day, he knew, like, he helped me before. So I just said, you take half of the signs, I'll do half of the signs. You go to that apartment, I'll do the other end, and then we'll meet in the middle. And he did it, and I did my side, and we finished quick. So that was good. But, you always have to find that person in the store who like, you will always find a person in the store, if you're a visual merchandising, they're always intrigued by what you do. And not just intrigued, because a lot of the time some of them will voice it, like, I love your job, but I would never want to do it. And then you get the people that hang around, they're like, so how did you do that? So how did you do that? And then people like that are the people who want to help you. So always, if they say, who do you want to help you next week when you have this big project, always, you pick them because they're so intrigued by it. So he was one of those people. So I said, oh, he's here, great. So let's go, let's get it done. There were a couple of people who were really good with that, not afraid of jumping up in the ladder too, because you have to think about it. I get it too. Like, you're hired to be a cashier. They're hired to be a cashier. They don't want to be going up in the ladder or trying to use a steamer. Like, that's not their job. And, when they're being forced to help you and they're like, oh, no, I don't want to get in the ladder. Like, for you, it kind of sucks because you do need the help. But, like, at the end of the day, you also understand them, too, because that's not, they don't have the right shoes for it. They're not prepared, like, mentally to jump in a ladder and do all this visual work, which is heavy work, too. But like I say, guys, it's a lot of work. It's very physical. It's very demanding job, And the best thing about it is that whatever you do, you can display something so nice and neat. And that first customer that walk into the store is the person that's gonna destroy your work. And you know what? That's okay because it comes with it. That's the nature of your job. You display things nice and neat, and that's what they want to look for. They're not going to go shopping at the message session. So if you spend, your first 2 hours of being at the store in one session, you better be ready because that first customer is going to walk right to that nice session and they're going to shop and they're going to pull the sizes that they want, and then they're going to ask for that dress that's on the mannequin, and you're going to be in your morning break and you have to come out and get that dress for that customer because you're there for them, right? You're working for that customer. So another thing, so those are good things. Just kind of after many years of doing it, you kind of accept it. I'm here for my customers, so you know you think about the people that shop there a lot. So like when I used to work at a store, I was like, this is my customer, this is the customer here. So I would change sometimes the outfits that I would put on the mannequins, because I know the people that shop there. We had a lot of repeat customers. So it was like a community store. So I'm like, they will never buy something like that, but they will buy this. So I would change it like that, and it will sell so quick. Because at the end of the day, your job is to make the store neat and to sell through your skills as a visual merchandiser. So that's all good. Another one of the things that I never liked about being a visual merchandising that really got to me, it was like, as I said, you get there early, man. And by the time, let's say you work from like 7 to 4, whatever, by the time it's 3:30, you're like mentally ready to go, right? You're walking around, making sure everything looks nice, planning out for the next day, making sure you don't leave the ladder up somewhere that is unsafe for, that a kid might jump on it, making sure you grabbing your iron, the steamers of whatever, and then you get a pop-up visit from your distribution, whatever, distribution manager or district manager. And they're like, so, how's everything? And you're like, I'm leaving half an hour. I mean, you don't say that. Of course you don't say that. But it's like, they have to think about this. If you're watching this and you're district manager, think about the people. Take care of your people that are working at the stores. Just because you show up doesn't mean that we all have to be like, oh yeah, I don't have anything else going on after work, so yeah, I can stay here and work the store now. I remember one time it was the same thing. It was around Christmas time. It was almost 4, and we got the pop-up visit. The distribution was in, and she was in, and we didn't realize because the store was so busy. It's a department store, right? It was like 3-4 floors. And she was in the store. We didn't realize we were working in a different project. And by the time she got to us, which is the visual team, she had a whole list of stuff that she wanted us to change. And we were like, oh, you been here? She's like, oh yeah, I had worked this floor and I walked the other floor and I saw what you did over there and I saw what you did over there. And we're like, oh, that's great, good to see you, this and that, whatever. Then I said, here's my list. And we just looked at each other like, how late are we going home today? I mean, and I had great managers that would say to me, you know what, you don't have to do it today. I know I came late. Like I had a district manager say to me, guys, I don't want to keep anybody here. I came late, so if you have to go ahead. I'm gonna email you guys and and let you know what I thought about the store. And that, you appreciate people like that, because they, whoever appreciates your time, you appreciate them back, because like, thank you so much. But then you get people who are prideful. I'm sorry, but that's just pride. You don't come into a store and expect the people that have been there jumping up, painting, doing this crazy stuff since 6 a.m. for you to come in half an hour before they leave to do a list of things that you want changed. So I remember her being like, so this is what has to be changed, okay? Let's do it. I was like, are you serious right now? The store was completely packed. And we are changing, guys, mannequins that are like so visible. It's not like the mannequin all the way in the back corner. It's like mannequins in the front aisle. And she's over there like going crazy. Like, it's almost like she just got her coffee, her afternoon coffee. She's taking the mannequin apart, putting it on the floor. And nothing calls more attention like a mannequin that's naked, right? So you have families shopping for Christmas and all the kids are just staring at you taking the mannequin apart, right? And then you have this district manager going crazy, thinking mannequins, moving this, and get the steamer and roll it. There she comes with the steamer making this big noise, and let's get some water. And you gotta go downstairs to the bathroom to get water. And it's like I wanted to say to her, like, I can come tomorrow at 6 a.m. and do all of this. But you don't do that, right? It's just so mentally like I don't know what it is. Like, that mannequin, whatever mannequin we changed today, seeing the store so busy, that dress is probably not going to last, because people are going to take it apart. They're not going to know where to find it, because right now there's no merchandiser moving that fabric around. Like, whatever you put in the mannequin, as you know, people are going to look for it, right? Whatever you have in the mannequin, people want to know what is that dress that's on the mannequin. So here's this lady wanting to change 10 mannequins that are on the front aisle that the merchandise hasn't brought up to the front yet. So when we were changing them, there you go, people were like, so where do I get that dress? And I had to spend like 10 minutes walking the department trying to find the dress because the floor plan has not been done. But she, in her prideful mind, wanted to do something. It's almost like she started work late and she just wanted to take care of it right there without thinking that we were exhausted. You know, your workload is so heavy during the holidays, and then you have all these people shopping and you're on their way and they have so many questions and you're right in the front aisle, and it's just, I just thought that was just too much. I was like, that is crazy. Like, she's not thinking about me. And, you know, one thing that you have to always see in a job is, you know, how much are they caring for you? Like, you want to get there and you want to do a good job, but, like, if people don't appreciate you, then you got to go. Like, I'm sorry, but nobody asked me. Like, what if I had kids that were waiting for me to pick them up at 4? 4:30 or whatever. Like, she just came in and wanted us to take care of things and we were there since 6-7 a.m. I don't remember. And it's like, there's no communication. Like, do you guys have an appointment? Somebody has to go. It's like, okay, let's get to it. Like, the store was, I remember that day the store was just so packed. I mean, people were shopping for Christmas, and this lady's like taking mannequins apart and moving things, and we just looked at each other like, oh my gosh, we almost, like, we had put like our cards away. We were planning the day for the next day. We didn't even know she was in the store, right? We were like, you know, you start cleaning, especially when you work. It was like 4 floors, that store, so it was a huge store. So half an hour before you leave, you want to put things back, you know, especially when the store is busy. You want to clean up, put things away, check the calendar, what's due tomorrow, planning your day for tomorrow, you know. But I guess everybody has a story, I guess. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a very rewarding job, you know, but I think it depends where you work. And if you're somebody who doesn't care, you know, if you've been there 8 hours killing yourself working because it's a very physical demanding job, and you don't care if 5 minutes before you go your district manager shows up and wants to do the work with you, then go ahead, that's your career. I hope you like it. But if you're like me, you want people to respect your time as much as, you know, you respect them, because you do get there on time. You do put 100% and you do your job. For somebody to come in and not even ask you, like, somebody has to leave or somebody has this or nothing, it's just, okay, let's take care of it. Like, you have a whole list of stuff. Like, it was just the wrong time. And those are things that, like, you see and you're like, you know, you have to think about that. When you see somebody who don't appreciate your time, you know, think about that stuff. But anyways, I know this video became way too long. I haven't seen people talk about visual merchandising. If you're a visual merchandising, I keep saying merchandising. If you're a visual merchandising, please leave a comment what you like the most about your job and what you hate the most. You know, what you like the most, what you least like, and then any stories that you might have compared to what I just said. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. And if you know what they call the visual merchandising in Spanish, please let me know. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.